Hi, welcome to Flow with Leon. So let's begin our yoga class, and this class is for beginners, people who are totally new to yoga. But of course, it's also nice to go through the basics too. There are a gazillion different movements you can do in yoga, flows, sequences. Is there a right or wrong? No, just play. And hopefully this will be playful today for you. So let's have our feet hip to shoulder width apart, spread the toes, a little soft bend in the knees, and see if you can grow an extra inch through your spine all the way out of the crown of your head. There's a little bit of space between your torso and your arms so your armpits can breathe. Nice. From here, inhale up the arms. Exhale the arms down. So when we're moving in time with our breath, inhale the arms up. Exhale down. Moving with our breath, inhale, is one of the features of yoga, synchronizing breath and movement. Good. Again, create that space between the arms and the torso, grow tall through the spine, and maybe you choose to close down your eyes and you just breathe. As you inhale, allowing your torso, your abdomen to expand, and as you exhale, the abdomen drawing back to center. Inhale, allowing the abdomen to expand. Exhale, everything drawing back to center. Good. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. Once again, inhale the arms up. And exhale, flow forwards like you're diving into crystal clear, warm waters on a holiday, sunny, beachy day. Now your hamstrings, the back of your thighs, might be screaming at you in this forward fold. It's totally okay to bend your knees here. The idea is to try to get your chest onto your thighs. Inhale to a flat back. So the hands might come to the shins or the knees, but try to flatten out your back and lengthen through the spine. Don't forget the neck, that is part of the spine too. Exhale, release down. Remembering those knees can be bent. If the knees aren't bent, bend them now and start to roll up on an inhalation. Arms up all the way over the head. Keeping the arms where they are, exhale. Now one of my favorite movements is called a helicopter. I'll show you from the side. From here, circle one arm forwards, that's your right arm, left arm to the back. Continue to circle the arms and they meet back above your head. Good, feel that reach. Now left arm forwards, right arm back. Mobilizing through your shoulders. Circle all the way up and over the head. Nice. Once again, inhale. Exhale, swan dive forwards. Remembering those knees can be bent. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale down. Inhale, bending the knees to float up. Arms all the way over the head. Exhale, keep the hands reaching. Interlace your fingers and turn the palms up. Now draw your belly button in and see if you can come up onto the balls of your feet. Locking your balance. Breathing, control, stability. And slowly allow your heels to come back to the earth. Release the hands. Interlace the fingers again, but do it the funky way, the other little finger at the bottom. Probably feels strange. Inhale the arms up. And come up onto the balls of the feet. Lock in that balance, draw the core in. Good. Slowly release the heels, release the hands, and the arms come down. Nice. Give the body a little shake. Shaking is actually a beautiful thing to do. It releases stress, it gets rid of tension, and it can bring awareness to parts of the body we don't normally feel. Good, let's bring that to a stop. So let's step to the top end of our mat, feet hip width apart. Inhale up the arms. Just like what we've done, swan dive forwards. This is a beautiful stretch, yes, for the hamstrings, but also the lower back. Inhale to a flat back, hands on the shins or knees. And now we're going to step back, so hands come to the floor, and see if you can step your left foot back, and then your right foot. You're in a high plank position. Push the weight back towards the heels. Rather than this, lift the belly button. Strong with the hands and the shoulders. Let's all bring our knees down to the mat, release the back toes. We're going to move through something called chaturanga. Elbows stay close to the body, not flared out. Lowering the body with control, coming onto our tummy. And then we come into a low cobra, hands by the ribs. Now, rather than pushing through the hands, think about pushing your pelvis into the mat to lift your upper back. Exhale, release. Push back through what we call child's pose, knees wide, big toes touching, and try to sit your buttocks back on your heels, the arms out ahead of you, and your third eye, the spot between your eyebrows, come down onto the mat. Taking a moment here just to breathe, to allow your body to open at its own pace. From here we come up onto all fours. Spread the hands as wide as you can. How big can you make your hands? Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. We're going to move through a cat-cow. Well, really it's cow-cat. So on an inhale, allow your belly to sink, tilt your tailbone up and lift your chin. At the end of your inhale, exhale, push through the hands, tilt tailbone under, chin to chest, lift through the middle of your back. It's like an angry cat. Inhale, flow in the opposite way. Exhale, cat posture. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Let's come back to a neutral spine. Let's do a little bit of core stability here. You're going to release your right arm and your left leg to the back. Right arm reaching forward, left arm back. Right arm forwards, left leg back. Fire up that left glute, lift the leg a little higher, lift through the core. Take an inhale. Exhale, see if you can touch elbow to knee. Inhale to open back up. And bring the hand and knee to the mat at the same time. Good. Take one cow-cat. Inhale, sink the hardened chest. Exhale, push through the hands, lift through the middle of the back. Tailbone under. And come back to a neutral spine. Nice. Let's do the other side. Reach out with the left arm, reach back with the right leg. Keep the toes turned down. Lift through the core, fire up that right glute, lift the leg a little higher. Take an inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale to open back up. Exhale, hand and knee come to the mat at the same time. Nice. One more cat-cow. Cow-cat. Nice. We'll come back to a neutral spine. So now we're going to thread the needle. So place that left hand into the middle of the mat underneath your face. Inhale up the right arm. This can feel quite tricky for some people, to find this rotation in the spine and to find the openness in the shoulder. Now we thread the needle. Right arm threads underneath the left, come down onto that right shoulder, and rest a little bit of weight on the right ear. Left hand's by the face, and there might be a gentle push through that hand. Good. A little add-on here. You can walk the left arm forwards if it feels comfortable. And you might even stretch out that left leg coming onto the ball of the foot, only if that feels good. And think about gazing underneath that left armpit. Good. Left leg comes in. Right hand comes back by the face. Now, strong left arm. Push through that left arm and inhale up the right arm into your twist. Right hand comes back down. Nice. Let's prepare to do the other side. Walk that right hand underneath your face. Inhale up the left arm. And we thread the needle, left arm underneath the right. We come to rest on that left shoulder, a little bit of weight on the left ear. Now again, the options, if you wish to add on, is you can walk those right fingertips forward, and you might choose to stretch the right leg back here on the ball of the foot. And there's a little gaze into your right armpit. So from here, slide the right knee back in. Bring that right hand back by the face. Strong right arm. Push through that right arm. And inhale up the left. Find a twist. And bring that hand back down. One more cow-cat. Away you go. And we come back to stillness. Now you're ready to do your first downward dog. Here we go. So hands are underneath the shoulders. You want to spread your hands. Your index fingers should face towards the top of the mat. Maybe even turned out slightly if you feel like there's tension in the shoulders. Curl under the toes. Push through your hands and lift your core. Push a little more and see if you can float your knees a couple of inches off the mat. This in itself can be quite challenging. Now from here, prioritize a straight spine. Think about getting your chest on your thighs, keep the knees bent, and shine your tailbone to the back corner of the room or the back corner of the sky, if the sky had corners. Now let's start to straighten our right leg. Send that right heel towards the mat. Now bend the right leg. Send the left heel towards the mat. Good, this is called walking your dog. Send the right heel to the mat. Bend the right knee, straighten the left, send your left heel to the mat. Good, do that one more time. Right heel towards the mat. Straighten that right leg. Bend the right leg, straighten the left. Left heel towards the mat. Nice. Now, feet are hip to shoulder width apart. The wider the feet, the more space you'll have to sink into your downward dog. Now spread your shoulder blades apart. Try to send your chest in between your upper arms. And try to migrate your heels down towards the mat. It doesn't matter if they touch or not. For some, you might need to keep your knees bent, but really prioritize that straight spine. Nice. Let's bring the knees down to the mat. Knees wide, big toes touching. Sink back into your child's pose. Arms reaching forwards. Let's come back up to our all fours. And see if you can release that right foot forwards in between your hands. Come up onto your fingertips. We're in what we call a version of a low lunge. Now, see if you can release your arms. Inhale the arms up and over the head. This is called a crescent lunge. We want to see if we can allow this left hip to sink a little closer to the mat. We glide back into what we call half Hanuman. We start to straighten the right leg. The hands come to the side of that left knee. Maybe you can lift your right toes and draw your chest down and your head forwards. This is a deep stretch for that right hamstring. From here, we're going to walk the hands forwards. Root through your left hand. Inhale up your right. We take a twist. Right hand comes back to the floor. We frame that front foot. Curl under your back toes and see if you can lift your back knee. Good. You ready? Let's step the foot back to a high plank. See if you can lift that right foot back. Find your high plank. Release the knees down, release the back toes. Keep the elbows close to the ribs as we exhale and lower. We call this chaturanga, or it's a version of chaturanga. Inhale to a low cobra. So we're lifting our upper back. Now push your pelvis into the mat to find a little bit more of a lift, rather than pushing through the hands. In fact, we should be able to lift the hands using the power in our glutes and our lower back. Exhale, release. Let's push back through a child's pose, knees wide. Big toes touching. We sit back on our heels. And once again, coming up to all fours. And let's release that left foot in between the hands. And we start to drop that right hip down. And stay on the mat. Really opening up through the front of that right hip, our hip flexors. Now we glide back, curl under the back toes, and we start to straighten that left leg, lifting the toes up towards the ceiling. Deep stretch for that left hamstring. The knee might be slightly bent, that's okay. But reach the crown forwards, the chest comes down towards the thigh. Now from here we walk forwards. Root through the right hand, release the back toes. Inhale up the left arm, find a twist. Left hand comes down to the outside of the left. Curl under the back toes. Elevate the back knee. This is what we call our runner's lunge. Let's see if we can float that left leg back. Find your high plank. Lift through the core. Push back towards the heels. Release the knees down. Exhale, release the back toes. Release the chest down towards the mat. Inhale to a low cobra. And from here, let's take what we call a sphinx pose. So you're going to slide your arms forwards, so your elbows are under your shoulders. Spread your hands, just like the Sphinx in Egypt. You're going to traction the elbows back and lift the heart and the chest. It's an opener for the heart, the chest, the front of the body, strengthening into the back body. Exhale, release. Push back through a child's pose, hands come by the ribs. Push back, knees wide, big toes touching. And we sit back. Come back to all fours. Hands under the shoulders. Spread those hands wide. Curl under the toes. Can you lift back into your downward dog? Remembering knees can be bent if need be, or you can straighten those legs. Now, as many steps as you need as you sink your chest towards your thighs, look between your hands and start to walk your feet forwards. Little steps. And we meet in a forward fold, feet hip width apart. Remembering knees can be bent, chest moving towards the thighs. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, bend the knees. Arms come up to the sides. And the palms turn downwards. Push energy down through your crown, through the spine, down towards your feet. Are you ready to work on your balance? Let's do this. We're going to take something called a staff pose. Root through that left foot and see if you can lift the right knee. Hands come to heart center. Hold that balance. And then from here, lean forward. See if you can step back onto the ball of that right foot. The feet are on railway tracks to give you that stability. Inhale up the arms. This left knee stays above the ankle. We have a high lunge. Feel an opening in your heart and chest. Reach the fingertips up without raising the shoulders. Find space between the ears and the shoulders. Nice. Now we're going to move into something called Warrior Two. So I'm going to turn my right heel down. The heel of my left foot intersects the arch of the right foot, and I'm going to turn my torso to the side. The knee stays bent over the ankle, and the arms, the fingertips, reach away from each other. There's a tendency to lean forwards here. Imagine I've got hold of your back wrist and I'm pulling you upright. Good. Hold. Strong legs. It's like the feet are pushing away from each other here. Now, take an inhale. Exhale, we're going to windmill the hands all the way to the floor, coming onto the ball of that right foot. See if you can lift that left foot, step back. We're in our high plank. Now you might choose to drop the knees again as we did earlier, or you might do a full chaturanga. Bring the chest forward, exhale to lower to the height of the elbows, and you can do a low cobra, or you inhale and take an upward dog. Your knees and thighs are off the mat. Now exhale, roll over the toes, or come back through child's pose, and find your downward dog. Once again, look between the hands, bend the knees, and start your walk, your journey to the top of the mat. Walking the feet in. Feet hip width apart, find your forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, release. A little bend of the knees. Inhale, roll all the way up. Exhale, push the energy down through the center of the body. Nice. Are you ready to balance on the other side? Here we go. Spread the right toes. Lift the left knee, hands to heart center. Lock in that balance. Now start to lean forward. Take that left leg back with control. You're on railway track. Step back as far as you can. Inhale the arms up, high lunge. That right knee stays over the right ankle. You're on the ball of the left foot. Ears away from your shoulders. Nice. Let's go to Warrior Two. We turn the back heel down, turn the toes out to the side of the mat. Turn the torso, the chest, open up through the hips, reach through the arms. And our gaze, we call that our drishti, is over the middle finger of the right hand. Good. Hold. Feel that strength. Feet pushing away from each other. Strong legs. You're a warrior. Take an inhale. Exhale. Windmill the hands all the way over. Come onto the ball of that left foot. Step back with the right foot. You've got your high plank. Now your choice. You can bring down the knees, chin, chest. Or you do a full chaturanga, lowering to the height of the elbows. Inhale, upward dog, coming onto the top of the feet. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward dog. Nice. Send the chest through the upper arms. Sink the heels down towards the mat. Now yogis, bring your knees down to the mat. Yogi's choice, you can sit back on your heels, stretching the front of the ankles. This can be quite intense for a lot of people. Or you can curl under your toes, and maybe it's your toes you've got to stretch. How many toes have you got curled under? For me, 4. That little toe doesn't quite make it. Or if this is too much, you can be up on your knees. Good. Now your choice, you can either roll to the left or the right, but come down onto your bottom and stretch your legs out long. Good. Let's do a forward fold. Now, if, I'll show you from the side, you're rolled back on your pelvis and you try to come forwards, it's really difficult. So, get right onto your sitting bones. A good way of doing this is to place your feet down, push through your hands, and shoot your bottom back. So that there's that little forward tilt, anterior tilt of your pelvis. Now from here, draw your toes towards you, including your little toe. Fires up a muscle here called your perineals. Inhale up the arms. Keep the ears and arms glued together. And then exhale, come forwards. Find that tilt in your pelvis. And you might find you can bind to your feet. You might be binding to your shins. Hands might be on your knees. But think about hooking your eyebrows over your toes to bring you forwards and down. And wherever you are is perfect for today. And on an inhale, we come back. Shall we do a roll down? We'll roll down, we won't roll up, I promise. Legs are out straight, reach the arms. You're going to draw the belly button in towards the spine, and you're going to try to lay one segment of your spine down at a time. No collapsing allowed. Here we go. As we exhale, slowly lower. Keep pulling your belly button in. The legs might want to lift to help you. Try not to let that happen. Strong. You've got control. You have control. Slowly down. You've got this. And once your shoulder blades hit the mat, relax your head down. Well done. From here, drawing the right knee in towards the chest, hugging it in. And release. Drawing the left knee in towards the chest. And release. Let's take a bridge pose. So we're going to bend the legs, feet are hip width apart. The heels are potentially close enough to your buttocks you can brush your heels with your fingertips. Palms down by your sides. Start to push through the heels and the big toes so the knees don't splay. And we lift the hips, the lower back, the middle back. A little lift of the heart and chest. The glutes are active without clenching. Strong through our body, mobile, stable. Exhale, bringing one vertebrae down to the mat at a time. And finally, the pelvis comes back down to your mat. Grab hold of one knee, grab hold of the other knee, a gentle draw in towards the body. And then yogis, you've made it. Our final resting position, potentially the most important, Savasana. This is where we allow our body to settle, to relax. Maybe your feet come off the sides of your mat, your arms come off the sides of your mat. And simply allow the body to sink. Nowhere to go, nothing to do but simply let go. I encourage you to stay here for a minimum of 5 minutes. Allowing your body to integrate your practice today. Staying in your Savasana for as long as it feels good to you. thank you for joining me in this yoga practice, and I look forward to being with you again soon. Bye for now.